We're headed into Dry Fork Canyon. Welcome to an RMSO Roundtable. A Roundtable Drive. This mouth of Dry Fork Canyon. There was a Bigfoot sighting on Christmas Day. I can't remember the year. Not long ago, though. Just a few years ago. Seems like this area that we're in, there's a lot of Bigfoot sightings in the wintertime. More so than other parts of Utah that I'm aware of. Up north, anyway. So, we'd like to come and take a look around this area in the wintertime. Both sides of this canyon that we're on the Red Cloud side and on the Dry Fork side, have had Bigfoot sightings. On the on the Red Cloud side up in the direction of Flaming Gorge. And then between there and Flaming Gorge, there's been two road cross sightings. One where a guy almost hit it in his semi-truck, and then another separate encounter where a guy just about hit it with his big truck.
We can't get into a lot of places during the winter, but this is one of the places we can get into, so it's nice.
Most winters so far, yeah. I'm sure they have some bad ones, but anytime we've wanted to come in the winter, we've been able to get back pretty far. There's petroglyphs in this canyon. Some argue that these petroglyphs are 2,000 years old. Native Americans supposedly didn't come into this area till about 700 years ago. So, kind of odd that there's petroglyphs 2,000 years old. There's an argument whether Native Americans made them or someone else. BYU thinks that they may have been Egyptians that were here 2,000 years ago making these petroglyphs, and when you see them,
it makes sense.
Yeah, my gut reaction when I saw them is, this looks more like something out of Egypt, you know?
Well, it's because they had metal. They had metal earrings, metal crowns, metal swords, and the Indians didn't have those.
Yeah, and the clothing and the shields.
Yeah.
These petroglyphs, made of people, and, and the types of earrings and everything that they made. I think I may have a few photos of some of the petroglyphs we have saw back here. I'll include those at the end of this video. Jenny's stepmom is into archaeology type stuff. She went to BYU and studied some of that, and we spoke to her about them and showed her the pictures, and she led us in the right direction. I went and looked at some of the studies that have been done on them, and there's an argument that somehow some Egyptians made it here a couple thousand years ago and left some of their artwork in the Grand Canyon area, Green Canyon, and here, Dry Fork. Dry Fork, when it's actually flowing, empties out into the Green River. The Green River empties out in the Colorado. The Colorado's what makes the Grand Canyon, and it eventually makes its way down through Mexico and empties into the ocean. Used to. It's now known as the river that flows backwards because the United States uses up most, if not all, the water before it can actually make it to the ocean. Colorado River gets used. So the Egyptians come in from the Mexico, California side. They could have followed the Colorado River all the way up to the Green and all the way back up in here. Weird concept, I know. One of the cool things about these petroglyphs is some of their giant-footed creatures and giant-footed people. I'll show you some of those petroglyphs with the giant feet, and then also the creature with the, they have it like having like these laser eyes with giant feet underneath. So did these guys 2,000 years ago, were they seeing Bigfoot in these canyons, mountains? Yeah, this is another gateway to the Uintas right here. And I believe the Uinta Mountains is kind of the epicenter of Bigfoot sightings in Utah. They kind of radiate around from this mountain range, the big bulk of them. I mean, you get sightings all over the state of Utah, but I think this has the largest concentration around this mountain range. What's crossing the road up there? Another raccoon. We saw a raccoon last night. We saw it at Skinwalker Ranch. Jenny and I did a loop around the ranch last night. Was hoping to see the activity everybody talks about around there.
Kitty.
Camp back here once or twice a year.
He was opening the gate.
I doubt that, but we'll see.
There's not too much snow.
Not yet. I often wonder if this canyon is a winter ground for the Bigfoot, because it seems to get a little bit milder weather in the wintertime than most places around here. Starting to find snow.
Was it 2 years ago when we came back in here and we found those footprints and those maybe bedding spots?
I think it was just last year.
Was it last year?
Yeah, last winter. We collected all that hair, and I was here with Derek. We did a nighttime hike, a daytime hike. We actually left some game cameras here for a month last year. Come back and camped again and collected them. And we did two expeditions out here last year. Back there reminds me of volcanic domes that we see in California and Oregon.
Which one?
They went behind the trees again. I doubt the camera is going to be able to pick it up, the one I'm talking about, but yeah. So 3 road cross sightings in this canyon. One on this side of it and 2 on the other side. That we know of. Those are just the people that reported it. Reported it to someone that puts it out there for the public.
More often than not, people aren't going to tell anybody.
No.
Or they just tell their friends or their family and they don't tell any. There's no way for anybody else to find out about it.
Where we live, our little area that we've grown up in the Ogden area and all that, for every Bigfoot sighting report out there, I've probably heard of 5 more word of mouth or people, you know, that I know that personally that, you know, tell me about their stories that haven't been reported, you know. And some of these people that tell me, you know, I'm like, can I put it on my blog or whatever? They're like, oh, please don't.
Yep.
Yep.
Most people do not want.
And then the ones that do, like, please don't use my name, or just use my initials, or just use my first name, or just use my last name, you know. Yeah, if you want to remain anonymous and tell us your Bigfoot sighting report, we keep everybody anonymous that wants to stay that way. We just want to hear about your report, you know, where it was at, time of day, time of year, description of the creature, if you know, whatever you can remember, you know, the size, the color, if you could see the face, nose, whatever. And then how it happened, what actually played out. Now you can email your Bigfoot sighting reports to us at kcshaw40@gmail.com. Can't guarantee we'll make it to your sighting area, but we try to make it to as many of them as we can every year, so there's always a chance that we will make it to your sighting area. And of course, the closer your sighting is to where we live, the bigger chance there is of us visiting it. We are known to travel over 1,000 miles to visit sighting report locations. Of course, those 1,000-mile drives don't happen as often as, you know, this drive that we're on right now, and this sighting area that we're checking out. It's only about 200 miles from where we live. Those of you that like to go Bigfooting and you're not into having your own media site, don't know how, don't want the time, deal with all that, I don't know, it can be crap for some people. I enjoy it. I enjoy keeping up on all our media sites, but if you're into Bigfooting and you want to get your expeditions out, you know, send me an email and some photos of your expedition and stuff, and I'll put them out there on my blog for people to keep up on your expeditions. We got what I consider an extended member out in Washington. His name's George Omar. He just got done with a 5-day camp backpacking trip in Mount St. Helens. He actually got snowed on the last night and the last day while he was out there. But he was out there looking for Bigfoot and sending us reports. While he was out in the field, he was sending us pictures. And whenever he had cell phone service up on the higher ground and stuff, he was getting connection. So he was sending us pictures and emails and stuff about what was going on his expedition. And we put those out on our blog. So yeah, not only are Bigfoot sighting reports welcome, those of you guys that are into searching for Bigfoot or whatever, if we like what's going on, we'll post some of your stuff for you if you would like. Well, we're interested in reading about it. If it's blog worthy, we'll throw it up there. During the wintertime, we go on less expeditions, and I usually do more YouTube posts and blog posts in the wintertime because I have more time to be at home and do that kind of stuff. In the spring, summer, and fall, when season's underway, you won't see me doing those blog posts as much. For those of you that don't know where our blog's at, it can be found at RMSO Bigfoot blogspot.com. And from our YouTube homepage, up on the picture at the top, the bottom right hand corner, there's links to a bunch of our media. You can get to our Rocky Mountain Sasquatch Organization Facebook, Twitter, Google+, website, and the blog. So it takes you to 5 different media sites. Check them out. We have different things on different media sites. This is nice for the middle of winter.
Heck yeah.
Last year we were on top of snow.
Yep.
Get to drive on a little bit of dirt. Where's our road crossing?
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Dang it.
I want like a Harry and the Hendersons ones, except for I don't want to hit the thing. I just want to, close.
You don't want to hit it.
No, I don't want to hit it. I don't want to hurt it. I don't want to hurt us. Or both. Beautiful day back here. If I was Bigfoot and I lived in the Uintas, this is where I would want to be right now.
Yeah.
Really nice for the winter.
Not having to trudge through snow that's up to your waist.
Yeah, but you start visiting Bigfoot sightings the times of year that they're happening.
They make sense.
They start to make sense for you.
There's lots of deer up here. Lots of deer. There's deer tracks everywhere.
There's herds and herds of elk. We may see one of the herds a few miles from here. They usually congregate this time of year on your way up to Flaming Gorge, not at Flaming Gorge, but from between Vernal and Flaming Gorge, the first little section, we see herds of elk there all the time. Some of the biggest elk herds I've seen in Utah. Elk herds. Some of the largest elk herds I've ever seen in Utah. Well, anywhere.
Yeah.
Matter of fact. Not saying I'm an elk herd expert, but that was a big herd.
It's amazing how sketchy elk are. You can drive right up to a herd of deer and they'll look at you. And if you open up your car doors, then yeah, they'll kind of scatter a little bit. But elk, you can be 100 yards away and they see you and they all take off running. It's amazing how sketchy they are. Not the ones in Yellowstone, though. You can drive right up to one of those.
Or the ones that people feed every year. You go to places where farmers feed them in the wintertime, like on Hardware Ranch. They stick around for that.
Oh, yeah.
Animals seem to know when hunting season's on, though, and they don't stick around. The deer, 2 weeks earlier, you may be just stopping and checking out these deer that hang out in an area every other day, and then as soon as the hunting season starts, they're gone. Like they know what gun oil smells like or something, right?
It's true.
Yeah, this is kind of weird. 3 years ago when we were camping here, we'd been camping back in here like in nights, like in April or whatever it was. And there was one guy camping at the very mouth of the canyon in a trailer. That's it. And then us, as far back as you can get a vehicle that time of year, we were camping. And that next afternoon, a fishing game showed up and he's asked us if we'd seen anybody else camping in the canyon and stuff. And we're like, yeah, just some guy in the mouth. And he goes, we heard reports of screams and stuff last night. And there were some people up here partying up last night. And I'm like, no, it's just us. And we weren't partying up. It was just me, Jenny, and Mike. We had a little fire and some hot dogs and went to bed because we had hiked all day and stuff, you know. So I don't know what the guy down at the mouth of the canyon was hearing, but he thought we were partying. So I was, you know, in hindsight, I'm like, did he hear some Bigfoot vocalizations down at the mouth of the canyon? And we're 10, 15 miles deep into the canyon away from the guy. But yeah, he told the park ranger, so the park ranger come up to see if it was us.
And it was not.
No.
It was too cold to even be outside.
It was a freezing night.
We froze in our tent. Froze. We were huddled and it was way too cold. The wind was blowing.
I know you're not supposed to do this, but we turned on both burners on our camping stove inside the tent to try and warm it up just before we went to sleep.
Yep.
You don't want to leave that stuff on it
while you're sleeping.
Yeah, it'll take all your oxygen and kill you. But we fired up for about 10 minutes to warm up the tent before we went. That was a cold night.
Yes, it was. One of the coldest.
Two cold nights in a row.
Yeah, that was one of the coldest
Bigfoot expeditions
that we've ever done. Yeah, it was chilly.
Yeah, that was like 3 years ago in like a March or an April back here. But anyway, we didn't hear no partying or vocalization, so I still, 3 years later, I'm wondering what that guy heard down at the camping at the mouth of this canyon.
Yeah.
I'm like, God, sounds like we were on the wrong side of the canyon looking for Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was down in this area. There's quite a bit of river tree cover down here where he was hearing all that.
Yeah, there is.
So that sucks when you get accused of partying and you really weren't. I'm gonna get accused. I want to, case of beers, some music.
Yeah, that was us screaming and hollering.
Yeah, we had a quiet night, quiet evening, and went to bed early. So yeah, the ranger confirmed what we already knew. He had talked to that guy, he heard the screaming, thought we were being hellraisers up in the canyon. And then we saw him the day we come in and went back to where we camped. And then the ranger, he makes his way up, doesn't see anyone else, and then he asks, is there anyone else any further in? And I'm like, I don't think anybody can get any further in than we are. And we did cruise up as far as we could
before getting stuck.
And we didn't see anyone else, and we didn't hear anybody either, and promise it wasn't us. We didn't have a party. That's funny. Wished I would have heard it.
I know. I think he was right here.
Yeah. Let's just pull into his camp spot. Yeah, he had a camping trailer and had it pulled in here. Yep, and we were camped roughly about 10 miles that way and nobody between us. So we didn't, obviously we were out of range of what he heard.
So between us and him, there was some screaming and hollering going on.
He's in a trailer, we're in a tent, and we had a quiet night, and none of us are heavy sleepers. I think vocalizations would have at least woke one of us up. I actually didn't sleep good that night at all because it was so cold.
Yeah. So whatever
we had one sleeping bag under us, two on top of us, and like a blanket, and I even went and grabbed my coat. So we had all these layers, and I had my coat between me and all those layers, and I was like, I think the next morning I says that was about all I could take.
Yeah. As soon as that sun came up, I was so thankful.
So anyway, you know how it is in the tents. It doesn't stop sound at all.
Nope.
All right, well, we're gonna go hike around, see if we can find anything Bigfoot related. I hope you guys enjoyed our Dry Fork Red Cloud Bigfoot expedition. We're gonna later on in this expedition, we're gonna check out the Flaming Gorge area, the Bigfoot sightings around there. I hope you guys enjoyed. Keep watching. We're gonna keep on squatching.